where's it going? There we go, on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. Just need to go and press that button. So good morning. If you're joining us live, apologies for LinkedIn and Instagram viewers that it didn't broadcast on Monday, so I'm sorry about that. We are going to go over some of the stuff that we did on Monday today, just as a little bit of a recap, and then I want to focus maybe a little bit more around the hips today, and the pelvis area. Just going to zoom the camera out. So we're going to start off taking our feet shoulder width apart. Take a moment just to move the feet around if you want to give them a little roll in and out and forwards and backwards, and just resting on the ball of the foot, raising on the ball of the foot, lowering the ball of the foot. Just play around with the feet in connection to the ground. Ideally barefoot if that's safe and it's comfortable to do so. And then just find a nice point where it just feels really balanced. So you're evenly distributed left to right. Soften into the ankles. Soften into the knees. Soften into the hips. And then we're going to do really subtle movement. In fact, I say movement, but you're not going to see anything. You're not going to see anything move. You're going to feel it. I want you to visualize. I want you to bring your heels towards the middle, towards the center line. So just draw the heels towards the center line. Now I'm not physically moving my heels. I'm not doing that. I'm keeping my heels connected to the ground, but I'm just drawing the heels to the center line. And just notice what happens. What happens? How does the rest of the body respond to just drawing the heels to the center line? It's always good when you do these subtle movements, when you're doing a live class and people are watching you. It's like they're doing nothing, just standing there, but feel the fact that you're doing very little movement visually, but there's a lot of stuff going on through that whole chain in the body. So just drawing the heels to the center line. Not forcing anything, not straining anything. Couple more. And then just take a rest. And then we'll do it alternate. So we'll do it alternate sides. So you're going to, if I'm mirroring you, you're drawing the left heel into the center line, then the right heel into the center line. Go left and right. And just notice how it works its way up, the connection, the link now from the foot all the way up to to the pelvis. So just going side to side, alternative sides. And you might already start doing this. Oh look, I'm suddenly starting to do a little bit of rotation. I don't want to lock the rest of the body out. Just do that. What happens if you start to then just gently do it a little bit more, soften into the knees, and see how just that very gentle idea of drawing the heel into the center line. Suddenly, whoa, that feels good. Less effort, do less. Breathing easy in and out through the nose. Slowing down now into water waves. Relaxing the shoulders. And then just taking a moment. If you want, just opening the shoulders, standing palms forwards, or just stand comfortably with the arms by the side, whatever feels good. So we get that sense that we're connecting to the ground, that connects to the hips, and that creates that movement from the center, that movement from the hips and the waist. The next part we're thinking of is coming up the spine. Now we'll say keep tall through the spine, but when we're rotating, there's not just that lengthening of the spine, there's that little bit of extension of the spine here as well. So this is what we did on Monday. I want you just to gently bring your hand to the opposite rib cage. As you bring this hip forwards, again, this is not force. This is not about stretching or twisting anything. It's just as you bring this hip forwards, sternum lifts. It's like you're looking. I was like, oh, yeah, look over there. What's going on over there? So we just get that little bit of extension as well. And then go to the other side. So hip, so actually foot, think foot, hip. And then you get that little bit of sternum lifting extension. So we just get that idea of that lifting as you move from side to side. So subtle, but so important. Think about walking and running. And when you're watching someone walking or running and they're like this, they're down all of the time. They're very much in flexion. But actually you want to get that lift and lengthen, that extension. And particularly that comes from lifting here and that little bit of rotation. So let's revisit that. So feet hip width, shoulder width apart. Remember that connection to the ground first. So heels into the ground or heels into the center line. Start slowly. Just start slowing, start focusing on the feet and that connection all the way through that chain into the hip. So you got that movement working nicely. Find the rhythm. And then again, not forcing anything, just allow it to happen. Is, say for example, when the right hip comes forwards, it just creates that, it's almost like everything just takes off. Everything just takes off through that upper body as well. But it should be effortless. Don't want you to start effort in this or overthinking it. Breathing easy in and out through the nose. Slow it down into water waves. Good, and have a little shake out. And why this this is so important, this spiral chain, is because it's everything we do when we walk and when we move forwards. And a lot of the time, I think I've mentioned this before, is that I've had people say to me, oh, I find it really difficult to nasal breathe when I'm walking or when I'm running. And it's often nothing to do with the breathing, it's the movement. So if your movement is forced or hard or not as fluid as it can be, then it's going to be harder to breathe. So again, we're not saying everybody's perfect and we're all going to just be flowing around and all feeling effortless and fantastic all the time. That's not the case, but we want to make that movement as effortless as possible. And it sort of like goes against the whole idea of exercise, isn't it? Because it's like, right, come on, push it, which is great because that gets the heart rate up. But if you're pushing it and straining the body or overwhelming the body, overwhelming the nervous system, oh, this is horrible, you're not going to have those full benefits. So while it's beneficial, obviously, to go to that extreme because we need stress, to balance out the rest, at the same time, we need to be safe when we're really, really going for that high intensity stuff. Lovely. Let's do our spinal cord breathing and we'll break this down tiny as well. So again, just taking your feet shoulder width apart, connecting to the ground. And we're just going to start that tilt with the pelvis. So we're going to tilt the pelvis forwards and then we're going to tilt the pelvis backwards. So again, it's a tiny movement. You can hardly see what I'm doing. But if I stand from the side, I'm just spilling out the front of the pelvis, spilling out the back of the pelvis. So just take that nice and easy, spilling out the front and then the back. And then also notice how the spine responds to that. So again, feet in contact with the ground. Notice the feet. We often do this on the floor, and I know we've done this a few times on the floor, but it's good to do it standing. And again, just letting that spine ripple, wave. And let's just bring in now upper body and just keep it easy. It's not forced, just gentle breath in and then breath out. Just spinal cord breathing. Notice the feet and the legs as you tilt that pelvis forward. So everything's coming from the ground. It's not just coming from the pelvis. How do your feet respond, react to the ground to create that tilt? Let's do two more. And then take a rest. Stand tall. See what you notice just standing tall, letting the breath settle. Let's Don't think we've done this one before. Again, just making sure your feet are about shoulder width apart. And we sort of done it when we've done the balance stuff, but we're going to really focus on the connection to the foot into the hip. So if I mirror you, I'm going to push the right foot into the ground, the ball of the foot, and lift the heel. Now we've done that before, but I want you to notice what's going on in the pelvis as you lift the heel and then swap sides. So left and down and right. So side to side. So I'm not just going, oh, I'm just going to swing over and swing over. I'm feeling that movement in the pelvis. Pelvis is tilting now side to side. And then notice how, just to counterbalance that, the spine responds on top. And again, we're not looking for perfection here. We're not going, am I doing this right? Am I doing this wrong? It's just noticing what happens. It's fascinating when you just really take that time to do stuff slowly, and you can notice all the subtle nuances. And as we were talking in the discussion on Zoom before this, slow movement isn't soft movement. All of this, if you can do this type of movement and tune into your body to this extent, and then add power behind that movement, it's amazing how strong and powerful and more efficient you're going to be in your breath and in your movement, and how more powerful you're going to be. And remember, it's not just about doing this, it's that combination of this, then some plyometrics, etc., all different styles of movement. But this is the foundational stuff, this subtle stuff. You can really tune in and feel what's going on. Take a rest, give your legs a little bit of a shake out. So now we've sort of like tuned the body up. We are going to just go into a very simple tiger squat, but we're going to really play around with those nuances, the subtleties. So remember the feet first. Got bits of fluff all over the floor. How are we time-wise? My clock has disappeared off the screen. There we go. So shoulder width apart, nice and solid and connected to the ground. We'll do tiger, so claws, tiger claws there. And then we're just going to tilt the pelvis slightly, sit back. Just go slow there. And then come up to standing. Doesn't have to be too deep. Notice we're going to keep that pelvis not forced tilted forwards, but just slight. It will happen naturally, that what we call that anterior tilt. And then use the ground and use that whole idea of that spiral, that connection that heels in towards the center line to come up to standing. So again, yeah, breathing easy. Let's do 2 more. Was that 1? I'll do 1 more. I said 2 more and I think I only did 1. And then have a little shake out. Let's just play around with that a little bit. This time, only go to sort of like chair position, as if you're sitting on a chair or if you're about to go to sit onto a chair. And we're just going to stay there for a minute. And then I want you to think about standing up. And I want you to think about standing up almost, and again, I don't want you to force anything here, is bring the chest forwards a little bit. So you're just shifting your center of gravity forwards a little bit, and you are using the ground and you're using that hips and the legs to come back up to standing. So we'll hold a position seat-wise a little bit or chair-wise a little bit, just go down, or if you can't get that far, just wherever you're comfortable. Stay there. Just breathing. And then use the feet, the hips, just to come up to standing. Let the breath settle. Same thing. Stay there. Keep breathing. If it's too challenging, if you're like, I'm out of breath, or your legs are wobbling over the place, come up first. It's not, how long can I hold this position? When you're ready, connect to the ground. Come up to standing. Let's do that again. Breathing. Keep the chest lifted, shoulders relaxed. Come up to standing. Feel the power through the legs to come up to standing. So we're not like, oh, I'm forcing myself up or muscling up with the upper body. You're using those legs. There's almost a very subtle here, even almost like a little bit more of a tilt. I'm saying these subtle things. I really don't want you to start contorting your pelvis or your hips or anything like that. So I don't want you to force anything. It's just about noticing. Let's see if we can just notice that. So down again. Hold. Feet connected to the ground. Heels. Almost like a little tilt forwards with the pelvis. Even though it's not tilting forwards, it's helping you drive and stand tall. Next one. Do this only if you feel it's safe to do so, because I just want to show you the difference as if you tuck your pelvis underneath. So you tilt your pelvis the other way. Please do not hurt your back. I'm not saying this is the right thing to do. I'm just highlighting the difference. So you tuck your pelvis underneath and then try standing up. It's quite challenging. It's not as powerful. So it's like, oh. So if we're in that sort of like posterior tilt, even getting off a chair and your tailbone is tucked underneath and you're like, all right, I'm going to stand up, it's not going to be as powerful. Again, these are really subtle differences, subtle nuances. So please do go careful with this. And if you've got any pain in the back or anything like that, stop. Have a little shake out. Let's do just some normal tigers again. So just nice and easy with all those things in mind, but not overthinking them. Just enjoy the movement. Just play around with it. Change depth if you want to go a little bit deeper, go a little bit deeper. If you just want to stay tall, you're still getting that same effect. You can still engage all the same muscles if you're just doing a really tiny movement here. Look how soft the upper body can be. You don't have to work with that upper body, using all that power and strength through the lower body, through the legs. Maybe change rhythm, maybe speed it up a little bit, maybe slow it down a little bit. Just play around, just be curious. Don't think of it as doing an exercise. Maybe if you want to just again stay in a certain position, and then know you can return from that position without effort or without strain. It's like we've done before when we go, right, now I can look in that direction, can look in that direction, can look, oh, I can reach up there. Oh, that's quite nice. Just play around with this whole movement, knowing that all the power, the strength is coming from the legs, really working the legs, the hips. Maybe you can reach down and reach up. And maybe you could do the same the other side, reach down. Just play around. If you get out of breath, you take a rest. Oh, that's much easier that way than it is the other way. Maybe it feels the same. Maybe you want to do a little bit of a, or just crawl on the floor a bit, as we've done before. Come back up to standing. Let's have a look down there. What's under the table? I need to plug my battery in under the table. Oh yeah, that's all right. Come back. Make these movements fun rather than just, oh, I've got to go and do my exercise. Should be able to feel your legs really working now. When you're ready, just come up, have a little shake out. Shaking the shoulders a little bit. Pulling down the sky. Again, connect to the ground. Breathing in. Breathing out. If you get a chance to do this outdoors today, do it outdoors, because then you're not just staring at your ceiling. You're looking at the sky. You're looking at the heavens. And automatically it gives you that little bit more extension through the spine. And then interlinking hands, bringing the feet together, standing tall, closing your eyes, staying there for a little bit of bamboo in the wind. Now take a calm breath in through the nose, opening your eyes, stepping out. A little bit of a brush down. Back of the legs. Give your tummy a rub. Excellent. Subtle stuff. Please do not overthink things, but I think it's quite important, or it's quite nice, just to give yourself that time just to check in with those tiny, tiny focuses. So, you know, every time when I'm saying a move from the center, we sort of like understand a little bit more what we mean by move from the center. Extend the spine, what we mean a little bit more by extend the spine. Hopefully that was fun. And it's exactly, have fun as you're doing that. If you are joining the masterclass on Saturday, I will see you then. If not, I will see you back on Monday for some more focus on the breath. Have a great rest of the day. Thanks as always for joining. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye. And you. Bye.